up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another edition of Geometry Excellence Television. Alright, honors class, apparently, for the 30, 60, 90. We did 45, 45, 90 last time. So now we're going to do a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. That adds up to 180 because it's all the sum of the angles of a triangle always equal 180. So it's a magical triangle again, just like 45, 45, 90. All triangles with angle measure of 30, 60, 90, writing this in your notebook, are similar because they're going to have the same angles because of angle, angle, right there. So they're going to have the same angles. So how did this become so magical? How did this become so magical? Well, the 45, 45, let's take a blast from the past, 45, 45, 90, that was x, x, x radical 2. The legs were x, and the hypotenuse was whatever the leg was times radical 2. So, how do we get 30, 60, 90? Why is that so special? It sort of looks like this, but it's different. So it all started with an equilateral triangle. Check this out. Write this in your notes. So equilateral triangle looks like this. Alright, that means all the sides are congruent. So what does that mean? Okay, so let's say there's 6. Could have said 10, could have said 2, could have said 1.5. Doesn't matter, so all the sides are congruent. So, what if we wanted to find the height? Because we want to find the area. This is the height. So, in order to find the area of this, you need 1/2 base times height. We know the base is 6, so we got to find the height. So, what did people do? What did the people that invented this geometry do? Well, they looked at this half right here. Someone's going to peel this off right here. Peel this off. So that's a right angle right there. And so this is 6, and this is my height. And I know that this is 60 because all the angles are 60 of an equilateral triangle because all the sides are the same, therefore all the angles are the same. 60 plus 60 plus 60 is 180. Okay, so that would mean that this is 30 because 30, 60, 90. Okay, so this height here has cut this base in half, hasn't it? So rather than being 6, now this is 3. Because this is 3, this is 3. Okay. Write that down in your notes. So what is the height? We still need that if I was to find the area of this triangle. Okay, so Pythagorean theorem, right? You know that. So let's call this h for my height. So I have 3 squared plus h squared equals 6 squared. So leg squared plus leg squared equals your hypotenuse squared. So that's 9 plus h squared equals 36. Subtract the 9, h squared equals 27. Okay, let's take the square root. H equals the square root of 27. Oh, I can find a perfect square in there. What perfect square? Perfect squares are 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. What perfect square goes in there? Oh yeah, you're right. 9 times 3. What's the square root of 9? That would be 3. And then I have that radical 3 sitting there. So my height right here is 3 radical 3. Alright, so then they saw that this. Look, 3 radical 3. 6 and 3. So let's write that again. So we have 60, 30. So the height was 3 radical 3. This opposite to 30 was 3, and then the hypotenuse was 6. And the people that remember was like, hey, we know that this is true for all of it. So now this right here, 45, 45, 90, now becomes this. Check this out. Here's the 30, 60, 90 magic right here. So that's 60 here, 30 here. So if this is some number opposite to 30, remember we're looking opposite, that is x. So then opposite to 60 is going to be x radical 3. So it's like this is 3 and this is 3 radical 3. And the hypotenuse is going to be whatever this leg is right here times 2. And there we go. Star that, highlight that, there we go. There is the magic. So it's x, x radical 3, and 2x. Very similar to the 45, 45, 90. It's a special one. Let's practice. Okay, so we got this. so before I start, I'm going to recreate this. Doesn't matter. So 60, 30. So I remember it this way. So opposite to 30 is always x. Opposite to 60 is x radical 3. And opposite the right angle, which is the hypotenuse, is 2x. So I always write that down to start. Okay? So now I have opposite to 30 is 7. So 7 is going to be x. So that means my hypotenuse is double that. So that's going to be 14 here. So if this is 5, that's 10. If this is 7, that's 14. Got it. Okay, so opposite to 60, that's 7 radical 3. Got it. Cool. All right, let's try some more. This one we're going to save for later. Let's look at this one right here. First, I need my picture. Doesn't matter how I draw it. Doesn't matter. So let's say this is 60, this is 30. This is how I originally did it. So this is going to be x opposite to 30. Opposite to 60 is going to be x radical 3. What's the hypotenuse? Yeah, 2x. You notice the more I'm drawing this, the more I'm going to memorize it. So opposite the hypotenuse is 8. So this 2x equals 8. So I need x right here, so I'm going to divide by 2. So x equals 4 in this special right triangle. So this is going to be y equals 4 here, because this is opposite to 30. What's opposite to 60? Oh, 4 radical 3. Got it. Okay. Looking good, looking good, looking good. All right, let's try this one. Opposite to 60 is 9 radical 3. So 9, so that would mean that x is 9, because this x radical 3 is this part right here. So this is 30 degrees, so opposite to 30 is just going to be 9. What's going to be opposite the right angle, the hypotenuse? Yeah, 18. Got it. Nice job. You see these two right here? I want you to pause the video and see if you can get them. Ready, set, go. All right, you got it? Let's see if you can do it. So right here, we had 30, 60, 90. So this is x radical 3, this is x, and across there is 2x. So this right here is 60 degrees, so this is going to be 7 radical 3, and this is going to be 14 here. Yeah, you get it? If not, raise your hand. What's over here? This is opposite to 60. This is 30, so this is going to be 6, and this is going to be 12. Got it. All right, we skipped one at the beginning right here. So this one right here. Write that down in your notes. Pause the video if you have to. So this is 30. Okay. So now opposite to 30 is 5 radical 3. But opposite to 30 is always x. So that would mean that x equals 5 radical 3 in this case. And so opposite to 60 right here is going to be x radical 3. That's what it always is. But x is 5 radical 3. So what does that mean? So this is going to be 5 radical 3, which is x times radical 3. Huh. Well, we learned last time that radical 3 times radical 3 is just 3. So this equals 5 times 3, which is 15. Boom. So this side right here equals 15. Okay, so opposite the 90-degree angle, that is 2x right here, 2x. So x is 5 radical 3. So that's going to be 5 radical 3 times 2. So that says 2 times 5, which is 10 radical 3. Boom. So this side is 10 radical 3, and this side is 15. Okay, so now you're equipped to use any of these strategies to do it. Okay, so now you have 4 right here. Oh, even a 45, 45, 90 thrown in. See if you can do these. Ready, set, great job today. Raise your hand and check the answer with the teacher. Go.